Immigration. It's a word that sparks heated debates, tears families apart, and defines the very soul of America. For centuries, people have flocked to this nation seeking a better life, escaping hardship, and contributing to the rich tapestry of American culture. But today, the issue of illegal immigration has become a political powder keg, igniting passions on both sides of the aisle. At the heart of this debate lies a fundamental question: how do we balance compassion with security? How do we uphold the values of a nation built on immigration while also protecting our borders and citizens? These are not easy questions, and there are no easy answers. But one thing is certain: the choices we make today will have far-reaching consequences for generations to come. Enter Donald J. Trump, a man who thrives on controversy and isn't afraid to shake things up. His answer to the immigration conundrum? A bold, some might say ruthless, policy aptly named zero tolerance. The message is clear: if you cross the border illegally, you will be caught, detained, and deported. No exceptions. This approach, Trump argues, is the only way to deter future illegal immigration and regain control of our borders. He paints a picture of chaos and lawlessness, of dangerous criminals and drug traffickers pouring across the border, threatening the safety and security of American citizens. "We are a nation of laws," he proclaims, "and we will enforce those laws." But critics argue that this zero-tolerance approach is nothing short of cruel and inhumane. They point to the heartbreaking images of families being torn apart, children being held in cages, and asylum seekers being turned away at the border. They argue that this policy is driven by fear and xenophobia, not by a genuine desire to solve the complex issue of immigration. To enforce his zero-tolerance policy, Trump has proposed a three-pronged approach: building a wall along the US-Mexico border, deploying the military to assist with border security, and expanding the use of detention centers to house undocumented immigrants. The wall, Trump's signature campaign promise, has become a powerful symbol of his hardline stance on immigration. It's a physical barrier, a concrete manifestation of his desire to keep them out. But critics argue that the wall is a costly and ineffective solution, a medieval relic in a modern world where drugs and people are often smuggled through legal ports of entry. Then there's the military, deployed to the border in a move that has alarmed many who see it as an overreach of executive power. Supporters argue that the troops are needed to provide logistical support and deter illegal crossings. Critics counter that using the military for domestic law enforcement sets a dangerous precedent and further militarizes the border. And finally, there are the detention centers, overcrowded and often squalid facilities that have become a flashpoint in the immigration debate. Supporters argue that these centers are necessary to detain and process undocumented immigrants. Critics decry the conditions in these facilities, likening them to prisons and highlighting the psychological toll they take on detainees, especially children. The debate over Trump's immigration plan goes far beyond policy disagreements. It's a debate about our values, our identity as a nation, and our responsibility to those seeking a better life. On one hand, there's the very real need to secure our borders and protect our citizens. On the other hand, there's the moral imperative to treat all human beings with dignity and respect, regardless of their immigration status. How do we reconcile these competing demands? How do we find a solution that is both effective and humane? The answers, as always, are complex and nuanced. There's no magic bullet, no easy fix. But one thing is clear: we cannot and must not turn a blind eye to the human cost of this crisis. We must find a way to balance security with compassion, to enforce our laws while also upholding our values. The future of our nation and our very souls may depend on it.